sa biglang laki ng electricity bill namin. Huwag pong mga bang magugulat. Sinisigurado ng Meralco na walang disconnection hanggang September.
Estimated bills lang ang natanggap natin ng March, April, at para sa ilan, May. Dahil sa lockdown, isang tabi ito para hindi na magkaroon.
Ang May o June ay actual meter reading na. Kung May ay actual reading, ibabawas dito ang unang reading bago mag-NCQ. Yan lang po ang kanyang babayaran.
Hello! Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Francine Marquez, and welcome to Kalingang Katribu Lifestyle Edition. You may be wondering bakit nakasuot si Tita Francine ng apron. It's because today it's all about home and trying to organize and declutter it, especially since siguro marami na tayong nabiling mga online items or we've accumulated a lot of things sa bahay natin through the years. How much more? Everybody's at home right now, our kids, our husbands, our father, mother, everybody. So how do you try to keep it together? By probably keeping things in every place the way they should be. So we have a special guest who will give us tips and advice. But before that, let me give you some social media announcements for our social media promotions. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, our digital edition on Press Reader is now available free for online readers. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to catch the latest news. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join our Viber community called Katribu for the hottest and latest news and entertainment stories of the day. Our Tercito emoticons are also available on our Viber community. Just click on the link in this video to join. So, without much further ado, our guest today is a homeschooling mom, wife, writer, co-author of Maria's Colorful Bangka that she wrote with her daughter Ella, and she also wrote Run Dad Run. I think she's the Marie Kondo of the Philippines. So please welcome Miss Minnie Francia. Hi,
Hi,
Minnie. Kamusta ka na?
okay. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes.
Nice inviting change from my usual cleaning, house cleaning and cooking, watering.
Oo, ang mga gawaing bahay. But tell me about it. Kasi I understand you also moved from house to house, no? Before the COVID happened. How did you
Yes.
do it? Paano yung achievement unlocked sa
Grabe,
ganyan?
it was really overwhelming. Kasi, we were able to move in talagang medyo settling down na kami ngayon pa lang. We were able to spend Christmas here in our new house. But, and you
Ah,
kasi yung situation namin, we came from a big ancestral home. We were staying with my parents and, they just celebrated their 50th anniversary. So you can just imagine all the lifetimes, literally lifetimes of accumulated stuff. And then
yeah.
added on to that yung stuff din namin as a family. So when we had to leave our place, as in a bit of a rush, I was really overwhelmed. Where do I start? What do I pack? What do I discard? Ganyan. So talagang we all had to be heartless. We had to decide which ones to keep, or if we even had space for all this big furniture. We moved twice. We stayed because we had to build our new house from scratch. So we had to live literally in our suitcases. So we had to choose which clothes
Hirap.
we should be wear. We wear paulit-ulit na lang. Talagang, that's when we realized that we don't need so many things pala to live meaningfully. Kasi talagang, I would just get things from the suitcase and yun na yun, palit-palit na lang siya. You just need to be more careful siguro with choosing what to buy and what to keep. That was really an experience of it made you realize now why did we keep these things all these years, and a lot of them we didn't even see for so long. So yeah, talagang from a big place to a small place,
Oo.
you have to be very critical. You have to be heartless. Is my talaga. Was my motto. You have to be heartless. You can't keep
Heartless.
things. You don't have place to store them anymore.
Oo. So from house, you move from a big house, you move to a townhouse. Is ganun ba yung ano mo ngayon, living
No, it's also a
space?
house, but my parents are also beside us. We have our own space. We also have 3 bedrooms. We have a family room. Ganyan. But it's definitely a big downscale, and it's actually more manageable. Like I told you, I don't have a helper now, and it's something unthinkable before. Kasi hindi ko siya kaya i-manage. Now, I'm alone, and the kids help me, my husband helps me, and it's more workable. Bagay siya dun sa pandemic because they're here, they're forced to help me with the chores. Yeah.
So this quarantine has really made us more mindful of our surroundings, di ba? Kasi we're spending more time now at home with the people we love, seeing new spaces na before we didn't really mind that space at all. But when it comes to organizing and decluttering, how do we even start? Where do we begin our process?
Okay. From my experience, I started with my files. Our family's files. You know how paper stuff accumulates? Yung mga birth certificate, ganyan, old passports, I had to choose like yung mga old receipts, and dami niyan through the year. So that's where I started. And the important papers, yun talaga yung inuna ko. I made sure that they're secure. I have, files for them. I had copies for them. I know where they are. So that's where I started. And then,
Documents ang unang essential that we should pack.
yes, those are yun lang naman ang essential sa amin. Diba? I mean, that's what I realized. The clothes, you can only keep so much. So that's one, papers, important papers. Two, I think you should start with your wardrobe. Like I said, if you don't wear it, doesn't fit you anymore, give it away or sell it. So I started with my stuff, and then I told the kids and my husband, we don't have cabinets anymore to fit all your things. So you have to choose talaga which ones you're gonna wear, what you think you're gonna keep. You mentioned stuff about old clothes. I don't have old clothes anymore. It's the only things I kept would be my wedding gown, and some clothes that I think siguro mga 5, that I keep in an old suitcase, and which I stashed up in my little closet. Yun lang. Very manageable na. Even shoes, I had to choose. When you're faced with the small space, talagang, it makes you more efficient, I think. It makes you more critical with the things that you want to keep.
And I heard you should put silica gel daw if you want to protect your clothes, if you're packing it for a long while.
Yes, especially bags and shoes. Now that we don't go out much anymore and we don't use these things much anymore, you need to keep them moisture free. So aside from silica gels, yung mga small packs, I've seen these parang dehumidifiers na nakapack din siya, and then they absorb a lot from
Nabibili yata where do you get them? Home stores?
Yes. Hardwares and home stores. I also saw them sa grocery. Meron din yan. So, mas malalaki siyang, you might call them bigger silica gel packs. Ganyan. But they're actually in plastic containers. So, yun. That's very efficient. Kasi humid nga yung weather, yung climate natin, and, we're prone to molds. So, yeah, that's one way of protecting your bags and shoes.
How do you organize mga photographs or yung mga albums na may physical photograph pa?
No. What I did was I made sure I had a cabinet with drawers, and that's where I put all albums. You just need to make sure that it's humid free, so you put silica gel also in those cabinets, in those drawers. But you know what I found most useful are having a file for ID photos. Kasi like the kids and Joseph and biglang, mom, I need a passport photo for school or whatever. Ganyan. So I have those in file with my with my mga passports na ganyan, so it's easy to pull out. Yan.
So, ang dami na nating natutunan. Siguro later, so, baka what I'd like to ask is basic rules, basic mindset when it comes to organizing the house. But, before that, let's pause for a break and then we come back.
Bilang bagong mag-asawa, sabay kaming natututo sa buhay.
Sabay rin namin inaaral ng mga bayarin sa bahay.
Kahit kami, nagtaka sa biglang laki ng electricity bill namin. Huwag pong mangambang maputulan. Sinisigurado ng Meralco na walang disconnection hanggang September.
Estimated bills lang ang natanggap natin ng March, April, at para sa ilan, May. Dahil sa lockdown, isang tabi to para hindi na maguluhan.
Ang May o June ay actual meter reading na. Kung May nagka-actual reading, ibabawas dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran hanggang 3 buwang konsumo.
Kung estimated reading sa May at June nagka-actual reading, ibabawas din dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran hanggang 4 na buwang konsumo. Walang labis. Tandaan, Kung ano lang nakonsumo,
Yun lang ang babayaran.
ako po si Mateo G.
At ako naman po si Sarah G.
G?
G!
Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Bakit kailangan ko pang pumunta sa bangko?
Oo nga naman, sir. Ba't kailangan pang pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.
And we're back with Minnie Francia, our mom, who's also a great organizer who'll solve our problems in decluttering. So before we paused for a break, I was asking her, Minnie, ano ba yung mga rules when organizing things that you've already accumulated at home? Basic rules. Yung kanina sabi mo, be heartless. Ano pa? What are the other mantra that we should practice?
Ayan, so number 1 nga, be heartless and be critical. Pero number 2, you also have to think, is this something I want to pass on to my kids? Or my kids want this pa? Kasi when I realized that, I gave these things away, biglang may naghahanap, Mom, where's my like this? I wanted to keep it.
Okay.
So bago ka mag-discard, magpaalam ka muna. And
Yeah.
now that we're
Okay.
here, parang,
Di ba?
ay, napamigay ko na. Ganun yung mga drama namin. But in hindsight, that we're here, and dahil kong iniisip na, ay sayang, I should have kept it. Kasi, namin, my husband, we like going to secondhand stores. We like going to Kamuning, ganyan. Before the pandemic, that's where we usually spend our weekends. And then parang, inisip naman when we see these things, ang dami natin before dito eh. Bakit, now we want these things back. Pero then again, you also need na to be, you really have to think, meron ba akong space for this? But also, there were items, their furniture that we decided to keep from my parents' house. And funny nga, my parents, sila, when they moved to their new place, they threw everything away. Yan parang, we don't want any of these things. Yung mga old stuff nila. Gusto nila puro bago. We want everything new. So, at their house, talagang all new. Ako naman, parang, wait, I want to keep this sofa, yung mga ganyan. So, what I did was, yung mga medyo kakasya dun sa small place namin, I just refurbished it. I had it reupholstered, iba na yung kanyang cover, ganyan, I made it more comfortable. So, it's na-upgrade siya in a sense na hindi na siya mukhang luma, pero it's more for our family. Because that's our personality as a family. We like old things that really work, and it's really finding new ways to display your old stuff and be more creative with the old things that you have. Because these things naman are high quality. They're good wood, and you just need to varnish it a bit, ganyan. And so if you don't want to throw everything away, you can find new ways to still use it or display it. But that's another thing to do with when you're decluttering.
Baka a little repainting siguro, no? Or new finishing, mga ganyan.
Right. Pero yung mga sa tingin mo ay junk naman, baka nga junk na siya. So always be critical with the things that you want to keep in your home.
Yeah.
And you said it na kanina in the intro, you really need to, everything has a place. And you need to put everything back in that place. Ganun yan eh.
Okay.
Kasi in a small place, you can't afford to be makalat. Medyo lumalabas yung pagka-OC ko sa ganyan. So, everything has to be put back where you got it. So, that's one. And if you want to incorporate Marie Kondo, everything in your place should spark joy. Hindi naman siya, if you think it's just a dust gatherer, then it really is a dust gatherer. But if it means something for you, and your kids find, they think it's something memorable for them, then keep it. Like, Ella kept a lot of her stuffed toys because she said, Mom, they still give me joy. Si Benj also kept some of his toy cars even though he's already in high school. So, I let them keep keep it, and it's up to them to give it up eventually, or if they still wanna pass it on to their kids.
Yeah, you're sharing some pictures with us. Baka you can tell us what they're all about, how you put it. This is the current house that you're staying in, no?
Yes, or I don't have pictures of my old house.
Oo. Pero ito yung, sa dami ng na-accumulate nyo from the previous residence. So tell me about this. Are you seeing the, from your gallery?
No, sorry.
We're seeing bookshelves.
Is this the one behind me now?
Yes.
All right.
Tsaka your living area. Basta a series of photos that you sent us.
This the bookshelf behind me. Talagang when they were planning our house, sabi ko, I just need a lot of shelves because we have a lot of books. Because we all read. Having said that, I still give up boxes and boxes of books. Kulang pa rin siya. So we just kept the ones that we really like. And then, so part of the decor siya ng house. That's where, so the bookshelves, I like looking at my books and, and then I displayed also, bric-a-bracs from my mom's house, and the ones that you see, and pictures also, family photos. Yeah, and I like reading here in this area.
Meron dyan, parang small table with some paperwork. Is that where you're working right now? Round table? Small siya na table.
Yeah, it used to be in the main entry of our old house. And it was round, and it had the rug there, also the round rug.
Yes.
And then, ang nilalagay dyan ng mom ko is a big, yung floral arrangement. Actually, hotel. And back in the 80s, 90s, medyo uso pa siya. So I like that table, and I like that rug. So I kept it and put it in the second floor where our family, they like to hang out. I said, well, I want this to be my work table.
So more functional siya. Kasi dati pang decor.
Work table. And now, Ella, because she doesn't want to study in her room, because she falls asleep down in her bed. So that's where she works. So it has a window, the printer is right over there, and those two chairs, one of the chairs there is, I got it from my lola. So those are vintage chairs. The other one we got from Kamuning. So those are yung mga type namin na decor. And I want it very functional and very comfortable. And I want things kasi that have history.
Usong-uso kasi ngayon mga indoor plants eh. I like kasi maybe people are staying inside, that's why they want more green. So that's what I like about one of the photos that you also showed. Parang your living room has a nice, I don't know if it's called is it a millionaire's plant? Yung parang banana type plant, potted plant. Traveler's plant. I think it's called the traveler's plant.
Which one? The one in the red pot?
Parang, it has yes. Basta in your living area.
Okay.
I noticed there are greens in the living room.
All right. Yung I have a friend kasi who's now, because she's not busy, nag-business siya ng mga plant stands, and we saw this. It's a great way of organizing your plants. In our house kasi, my husband is the one who likes plants. So we got that. That red pot that you see is actually, siya, pandan.
Oh, okay.
Pinuha dun sa garden sa labas.
Okay.
Para siyang pandan. Pwede natin siyang pantimpla ng mga syrup.
Yes.
Yes, decorative plant.
So you just really have to be creative, mix match, kung what works for your.
You want to buy plants. He just likes going around the neighborhood. Dito sa village kasi maraming mahilig din sa garden. So, he would ask our neighbors, pahingi na lang ng halaman. So, dumami yung kami. We have a jungle in the house. And plants really are, it's a good way of brightening your home.
Tsaka parang masarap yung feeling. Parang you're still outdoors. You're amongst nature. I was also going to ask you, what about storage spaces, containers, boxes, lahat ng mga nabibili sa mga hardware stores. How do you use them? But hold the thought kasi we have another break after this from our...
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
Ikaw ba ay may pack na cooking skills at bonggang-bonggang level of singing performance? Kung oo, baka ikaw na ang hinahanap na Phoenix Super LPG Calderoque Royalty. Para sumali, sundin lamang ang nasa website ng Phoenix Super LPG Calderoque at i-upload ang inyong best video na kumakanta habang nagluluto. I-like at i-follow ang Phoenix Super LPG page. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Sarap pala magluto. Sali na!
In the days ahead, we need to lean on the values that make us a great company, the Malasakit, for which we are known, and the understanding that, as San Miguel, we stand for something far greater than ourselves. That we have the responsibility to extend a hand to those who most need it. It is our sense of duty and obligation, pagkakaisa and malasakit, that will see us through these difficult times. Kwentong Malasakit.
And we're back with Minnie Francia, our mom, wife, homemaker, who's also the Marie Kondo in my world. I always ask her for advice on organizing. So, Minnie, before the break, I was asking you, what about yung mga plastic containers, yung mga lahat ng mga plastic cabinets that we try to buy in hardware stores, but we never got to use them? How can you maximize them? Where do you store your things that you want to keep away for now?
I still have a lot of those, pero ang dami ko mga discard na plastic boxes. What I do use now are, I have open shelves kasi that I plan kasi to get yung mga baskets, ano may mga wicker or rattan. I've been looking for those. But then a friend of mine was selling yung plastic boxes that are that look like they are woven, parang siyang rattan, but they're plastic.
Okay.
But you know what? It's cheaper and it's easier to maintain because you know how baskets accumulate dust and it's harder to clean them. So these ones, they also have lids. So for my open shelves, that's where I put yung mga loose ends, ganyan. So I have those kinds of plastic boxes. I have a storage area under our stairs. So I still have small plastic boxes where I put, let's say, sweaters, winter clothes for traveling. Yeah, those are the ones I know that I keep.
Oh, we have a question from one of our viewers, netizens. Miss Minnie, paano i-pack or i-store ang mga gamit ng baby ko? Like baby clothes, kids, toys, mga ganon? Yung mga, I think mga walkers, yung mga ganong gamit ng bata.
Am I do I assume that the baby is already grown na?
I suppose, oo. Baka wala nang...
anymore.
Oo, baka kid na.
For baby's clothes, yung mga... just keep... that's what I did. I kept a maximum of 5. baby clothes that were memorable. Let's say, pang binyag or first birthday, yan. Yun, that's what I kept. I put them in small plastic boxes. The rest I gave away. Walkers, whatever. I don't have
Na
space for them anymore.
strollers, mga ganun, no?
Always think that other kids will keep them. But you know what I kept? I kept an old rocking horse, a wooden rocking horse,
Oo.
glass, and two little chairs that the kids used for when they were small, they were studying. Yeah, that's what I kept. And the small chairs we use as plant stands, ganyan.
So parang na-repurpose.
Yes, and it's nice to display them also because it goes along with the decor and it has a lot of memories. And Marie Kondo nga, if it sparks joy, then keep it. But make sure it's useful and it goes with your house.
Yeah. I think some people naman do you do this also? They donate items to mga charity organizations. Like
That's
Caritas gets, you can actually donate your furniture.
I gave a lot. They had, I don't know before, they don't know now, but before they had, para silang merong store sa, in Fairview, a mall in Fairview, where you can give all your furniture, clothes, toys, and Caritas will take care of it. Or you can,
diba?
they will send a lot of stuff there, and then some other, orphanage. Basta, and, if you don't want, kasi we don't have the patience to sell each item, so we just really give a lot of those things away. And, it also feels good because you know that other people find them useful.
There are some things, diba, like you were saying, na may sentimental value. There's a lot of good memories that go with it. But
Yes.
you're torn between giving it up or keeping it. But then, baka for all you know, it's not really something that you have use for. How do you
Yeah.
deal with that? Like, I have a friend, you know those yung mga dwarf and elves in the garden, ng mga ceramic ng 70s. Ayaw niya ipagbigay, but the family's begging her, Mom, give it away already, or put it up para, they want a more modern looking garden daw. So how do you deal with those things? To some people, it might be tacky, but to you, it really means a lot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There are really items na parang, mukha na siyang hindi bagay, pero we don't still wanna throw it away or give it away. Maybe you can find another place to display it. I like going through yung mga second-hand or vintage stores online, and I find new ideas to display old things. And sometimes na parang, oh, why did I give that away? So now I want to buy it. Parang ganon. So be critical, yes, but also maybe you can put it somewhere else. Like those dwarves, I don't know, is it something you can remove in the garden and maybe put somewhere else? Or maybe put another, a different kind of plant.
Siguro, Oo, baka. Yeah, just be creative.
Talaga. Be
Find
creative.
some use for it. Oo. Kaya, we need harmony in the family. If somebody doesn't want to let go, I think we just have to make do.
Right. Pero yun nga, you also think, my daughter, she just celebrated her 18th birthday, and we just had dinner with the immediate family, but she wanted to wear something special, and so sabi ko, you want to buy online, and then she remembered a dress that I've kept, which I used for my college graduation. It's just a simple shift dress, and she said, Mom, I'll just wear that dress. And, kasya naman sa kanya. And, it was very meaningful for her and for me. And maybe these things that you think are classics or can still be used or reworked, then keep them. if you have space for it, you have, a place to put it, then keep them.
Simpulan. Yeah. Wow. That's really a lot, no? Parang you just have to be mindful and parang you should just have to be really decisive when it comes to decluttering and organizing. Yeah. So, Mimi, meron ka pa bang mga ibang decluttering advice na you want to share with us? Lalo na ngayon sa COVID, we're now under quarantine. I mean, aside from decluttering, I think health and sanitation are also important.
Yes, yes.
Oo.
Always, well, for one, having a clean house, it's part of, you also have to, it's part of having a healthy home, and when there's clutter, you attract cockroaches, those kinds of things, and people, the family, when they see the house is cluttered, they tend to be more messy. So it's better to always have, like I said, keep things in their place, always return them, only keep the items that are meaningful for you and that will actually go with your decor. And then, you find creative ways to display or incorporate items that you actually want to keep. There.
One of the new spaces na maybe that sprouted because of the pandemic is the sanitation area. How do you, sabi nila it's a clunky space, it's not really that defined yet. How do you arrange that?
I have a box.
Disinfection mat and all when you enter.
No, okay. I have it's a box. It's a box like a basket. That's where we keep all the sprays, the alcohols, and the alcohol gels, and they're all within easy reach. And below that, because it's on top of a table, below that is a drawer and then a cabinet. That's where we have all the masks, and that's where we have all our face shields. So everything is together in one table, near the kitchen, it's near the door where people, when we need to go out, and there's a, I'm sorry, but my PA is showing here. This is literally the box.
Okay, great.
Here.
You're very professional. PA, also, aka the hobby.
We couldn't help it. So yes, we have place where, magkakalapit sila, doors, and, and also outside the door we have a small table where there's also sanitizer for deliveries.
Yeah.
Out, that's where we spray our shoes, ganyan. So, yeah.
So iba na talagang routine pag it really changed our routine going inside and leaving the house as well.
It's true. I even have a spray for our clothes, ganyan. It can't be as, you just need to be very, very careful and very, very mindful about being clean with your pants, ganyan, with your shoes. Yeah.
Wow, we've learned a lot from you already. We're now down to the final minutes of our show. Can you imagine? Para nagkikwentuhan lang tayo. Can you give us any more messages to the audience or friends, family? Mga last tips lang about siguro organizing, keeping it together. I mean, this pandemic is really something that we did not expect, diba? So parang sometimes it just causes us anxiety. You're not sure if you still want to stay in your own house. How do you do it?
You mentioned something about the problematic thing. Yung online purchasing, it's always tempting to buy things online. So before you click that buy button, when you purchase, please make sure that you have space for that. Do you need it? Is it useful for everyone? Because when you buy things, you get not just the item, but you get the packaging also and get all those, it's not really good for environment. And eventually, where will that end up? What we realize is that how many phone chargers do we need to buy online? And it's everywhere now. I have to find a place for them, and that's just the phone chargers. What else? If you like buying stuff for your kitchen, parang, yes, it's a nice gadget, but do you use it every day?
Yeah.
Just make sure when you buy, you're very sure you have storage and it's something you will use.
Minnie, I know you don't do this professionally, but in case, where can people reach you? Do you have a public social media account where people can ask you more things?
Oh, yeah. Public social media account. Hindi, yeah. The Facebook of Maria's Colorful Banca. I think it's called.
Okay.
Yes, if you want to ask questions.
That's a beautiful book. Are you making more? Are you planning to publish more books for kids in the future?
Yes. I should do that. It's just so hard to find time in between, decluttering and keeping house. But yes, thank you for reminding me.
I reminded you talaga, no? Because you want to read more.
Yeah, doing creative things.
Yeah. So, thank you, Minnie. But before we end the show, let me make our social media announcements again. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. Daily Tribune is one with the nation in fighting the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, our digital edition on Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to catch the hottest and latest news and entertainment stories for the day. Tarsito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in the video to follow. Thank you, and with that, Minnie, thank you very much.
Thank you, Francine. I enjoyed it.
Yes. Thank you. This pandemic really changed the way we look at things, from the doorknobs to the shoes that we bring home. But the most important thing I think is that home is still the place where we can be comfortable, where we can be ourselves and safe with our loved ones.
Yes.
Right, Minnie?
That's true.
Thank you. And hope this is not the last time. See you again.
Okay.
And this is Kalingang Katribu. Thank
With these cell sites, it affords us better cooperation and communication with the outside world. Because it is vital for FU and RMF to have this. We are now dependent on this cellular signal, and it has helped us a lot. Connectivity is not a problem because we allowed these cell sites to prevail and to be on our roof deck and our helipad. Hindi tayo mawalan ng signal sa lahat ng rooms namin dahil may cell site tayo sa taas. It's one of our major advantages. I think that's the greatest decision that I was a part of, because if not, we would probably be in a worse case right now. I'm thankful that we allowed these cell sites to be installed. I'd like to think and hope that all hospitals have that. We have not had any case of cancer regarding cell sites. As a matter of fact, we employ many cell sites and many boosters inside the hospital. For us, it has saved lives. I think with this new normal, we have realized that we are more dependent on this technology. Cell sites, if not connectivity, are a must.